Hello, what up guys, how you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. Today's episode is powered by my sponsor Elgato Gaming. Guys, take a look down below in the description. It will take you to my Elgato profile page. You can learn more about the products that I use every single day to create my content. I'm talking the key lights, the green screen, Stream Deck, multi-mount, all of that stuff. You know the drill by now. Check down below. Thank you for that. And of course, as we get stuck into the video, if you'll do me a very good favor at the start and hit me with a thumbs up, that would be amazing as well. We're shooting for 3,000 likes today. Can you make that happen? That is your target. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new around here. So the squad is looking like this. I didn't really touch on it in yesterday's episode, but I went into some squad battles matches and just quit so that I could get 10 games on Simon and 10 games on Fernandinho so that they got the loyalty. And essentially what that does was bring those players up. It brings my team chemistry up to 99. With the way that I'm currently playing the team, I can't actually get 100 chem. But from what I've deduced, I can't see any difference in the actual stat boosts in any particular player if they're on 99 team chem or 100 team chem. So I think we're fine like that. It's just a one of those OCD things that some people might be slightly annoyed with. And of course, having Joe Gomez in instead of David Luiz means that Fernandinho drops to 8 chemistry instead of 10. So that's the only difference, and you would think that maybe having him on 8 chem rather than 10, but having a much better centre-back in TOTS Joe Gomez than David Luiz would probably make up for it. So I was absolutely happy to try and stay like that. I spent about an hour and a half moving different players around my squads, adding different concept players in to see what I could make happen. But because we're broke, because we've only got 5,000 coins, it's the way it is means that we pretty much got to stick with how we are for now, and then hope that we get kind of lucky in the reds next week and our packs next week. I mean, if we can get ourselves a red Jordan Henderson, we'll be laughing. That would be absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? Or just one of the Liverpool players that isn't Alisson that could link to Joe Gomez, right? So I'm talking Robertson or Trent or Van Dijk or Henderson. Any of those would be absolutely brilliant because, of course, that would help us out drastically for chemistry going forward. So that's one of my actual main hopes, is that we get one of those players in red. But like I said to you yesterday, I would absolutely love to get not Van Dijk. I would love to get Van Dijk, but I'd love to get De Bruyne and I'd love to get Mahrez. Those two would absolutely make my day, that's for sure. Probably make my entire series, right? Because they'd be so good. But hey, we've got to get our wins first, haven't we? Marquee matchups has finally been completed. I simply waited because, if you remember, I might have said it in yesterday's episode, I didn't have a Barcelona player. I was basically missing one player to complete marquee matchups. Because it's Prem TOTS, people want to get as many packs as possible. Marquee matchups required a Barca player in the final squad as well as a Valencia player. There are a few teams, Man City, Bayern, Barca, that all have players that they seem to just rise in price like absolute crazy when they are required in an SBC, and I think that's because there's only a certain few that are of that low level that would normally be cheap, and a lot of their players are high rated and expensive, right? So yeah, Barca players were up to literally 9 or 10,000 coins, which was awful. I didn't want to pay that, so I really hoped that we packed one and we got lucky and got a Sergio Roberto, who I of course could have sold, but let's just go ahead and do marquee matchups and hope that we get something good. Unfortunately, you'll see in the final marquee matchups pack here, and we don't get anything, really. We don't get any blues. We didn't even get a troll blue like we did in yesterday's episode, like an EFL TOTS or something. But yeah, so it didn't work out for us in marquee matchups this week. But hey, I think it was still worth it. We've still got a lot of players in our club that can be useful for upgrade packs later in the week. And then we do the Community TOTS Challenge, just because I'll willingly put these players into the club to get an 83 plus, because that eliminates so much rubbish, meaning that there is a much higher chance that you get that TOTS player or high rated player or something. So pretty hopeful from this pack right here. 83 plus rated rare player. Can we get a TOTS player from this pack? We can't even get a walkout. But as soon as you see Sweden in this instance, you know that it is going to be Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So that's an 85 at least. If you're not going to get a TOTS and you're not going to get a walkout, you might as well get an 85, right? That's going to be the best of a bad deal. So we'll take it. It was probably worth it. He's probably somewhere between 10 and 15k. And of course, he's a nice high-rated piece of fodder that we can stick in. And I do have a few players from Serie A that I can still use in some squads. So that would be quite useful. So the next thing to do is to play some more champs. So we're at 5 wins and 1 loss so far. And I decided to play 2 more matches on Friday night. So these next 2 matches are from Friday night. The ones after that are from Saturday early afternoon, just before I'm recording this commentary, and of course you're watching it on Sunday. So the reason I was playing this, I was done for the day on Friday, but I couldn't get on the Warzone servers. I don't know if there was an issue or if I've got an issue somewhere, but I couldn't get on the servers, so I resorted back to some more stress in the FIFA Weekend League, and I've gone 1-0 up after 10 minutes. It was actually a really nice goal. The link-up play between Neymar and Simon was great, even if it was a little bit sort of unintentional. I think I was trying to do a fake shot with Neymar and it just pinged it out to Simon, so we'll take it either way. This guy had TOTS Thuram, so he obviously did the objective last week. He also had a red Wilfried Zaha, so he obviously got very lucky in his red rewards last week. I don't know where he could have finished silver 1 to get that, or of course he could have finished anywhere above that as well to unlock a red Zaha. That is the way that the rewards work this year. We get very fortunate that ball drops from the goalkeeper straight into the path of Neymar, who scores the goal. So we're 2-1 up. Things are looking all right. He has proved that he could score against me, and I'm not going to lie, that Zaha was very difficult to defend against, but look at that, lovely from Neymar to get a 34-minute hat-trick. Is that going to lead this guy to quitting? No, it's not. We're actually going to work our way to getting 1 more goal here. Moses Simon into the box, knocks it into Atal, who smashes home. That's my 2 wide cams working well together. I do notice that Atal creeps into the middle quite a lot. I'm actually fine with that because I like Moses to stay out wide and utilise all of that pace and stuff that he's got. So a 4-1 victory in a game which I think if I didn't score again, if it was 3-1 at half-time, this game could have gone totally different because he was actually quite a good player, I would say anyway. Like he felt like it was going to be a tough game. I just got lucky that every single shot I took pretty much went in. I got very lucky with some bounces. So 6-1, and we go into the next match, and we come up against a red Julian Brandt. I would have loved to have got him in red. He looks outstanding. He's got really good stats, but he's not actually that expensive if you buy the proper TOTS version. So maybe, just maybe, depending on who we get over the next few weeks worth of TOTS pools, you never know when we're going to switch the league up. There's a chance that I could be using a Bundesliga side or something going forwards, depending on who we get in red or in TOTS over the coming weeks. Because if we get quite unfortunate towards the end of this week, knowing that we got really lucky and got Joe Gomez in community, let's just say we don't get any Prem TOTS players in our rewards next week, and the 2 reds we get are like Dean Henderson twice, or Dean Henderson and Alisson, someone that I've already got a team of the year of. So we don't get any outfield players that help our squad at all. And then in the guaranteed SBC, we get like an Alisson or a Dean Henderson again. It could go very wrong very quickly, and it could cost me quite a few coins or a lot of fodder in order for that. For it all to go bad. We obviously keep hope that we will get someone good. There are a lot of incredible players in Premier League TOTS. Like, just from a numbers perspective, the amount of awesome looking players there are. Like, Henderson is probably considered one of the lower end ones, just because you've got like Son, Rashford, Aubameyang, Aguero, Mahrez, KDB, Van Dijk. You've got all of these crazy players that you could possibly get, that someone like Trent or Henderson or Robertson are probably on the lower end of what people want to get. But for me, that would be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? So, yeah, I am very much looking forward to later on in the week. Like yesterday I said, it's pretty much the pinnacle of the series. When you hit Prem TOTS, that is my favourite week of the year. It's also one of the most stressful, isn't it? Now, we come away with a very tough 2-1 victory here. That was not an easy game in the slightest. I thought I was going to bottle it in the end, especially because I'd hit the woodwork a couple of times. I was like, oh no, it's one of them games. This one's going to go against me, boys. But it didn't, and we actually ended on Friday night at 7-1. I can't remember the last time I got 7 wins on a Friday, so that was really positive. Went to bed on a good note. We also completed weekly bronze, which is good. Gives us a few more XP. I haven't focused on any of this really at all. I know that there is like Socrates and Figo's story, which I need to do against one of my mates at some point. Haven't even thought about like week 1 gold or the week 2 silver or any of this stuff. But as you can see, there's a Tots moment, Perez, who is just squad battles only. I will most definitely be getting him for high rated fodder. Don't particularly want to use him. I don't think he looks that amazing. But a good card nonetheless. What do you think of that card design, by the way? I don't like the fact that it's a rounded top. I wish it was one of the triangle tops. But other than that, like, I like it, you know, cool design, and a cool player that you can just get from squad battles. And that's an 80, was that an 89 or an 88? It's going to be very helpful for SBCs. Now, you can see I went through my club and tried to sell a few of the duplicate golds, and also went in and had a look for the silvers. I hit the jackpot. I found 2 Norwich players that were about 10k each, and I also found a Sheffield Wednesday centre-back who is in the Championship SBC. Of course, Ben White is now a very popular player that people want to link to their Calvin Phillips. And yeah, that was, I mean, great. I could sell them on. I made about 30k off of 3 silvers, which is brilliant considering we're broke and I don't have any plans to do those League SBCs in the near future. So, going into the Saturday games then at 7-1, I come up against this first game. Team of the Year Kante, Foot Birthday Mbappe, and I'm pretty sure that this guy played his team in this 4-5-1 or a 4-1-4-1. He didn't switch it up. He just played it how it was. It was super wide, to the point where my hands even go off the screen. It was that wide. And I couldn't really deal with it. It was a tough game. Couldn't break him down. I am facing so many of these Sergio Ramoses, I feel like, and he's got to be one of the best centre-backs in the game. If there's a chance for me to get his SBC done at some point and for a good price, and it works out and it fits a team that I currently have, I think I would definitely do him. He seems like an absolute roadblock to get past. What a player. So I go 1-0 down, and it is Foot Birthday Mbappe that scores it. I get a couple of half chances, but there's so many AI blocks and stuff going on in this game that it is what it is, and you just sort of move on and hope that you get another chance where things will work out for you. Second half then, he's pushing forward again. It was that wide ball out to Bernardo Silva that did me, because it was dragging players out wide, leaving gaps in the middle. It was a very good tactic that he was using, and I mean, look at that. Like, I somehow get really lucky that the ball ends up flying in, but an AI block from Roberto Carlos stops me from getting the luck, and it kind of gives the luck back to my opponent, which probably evened out the karma, because I shouldn't have outstrength Sergio Ramos there, should I? My last opportunity of the game was that from Kent. I probably should have powered it rather than finessed it, but we take the loss, 1-0 loss, very tough to take, and it wound me up. I actually felt like the game felt delayed. I felt like this next game felt delayed as well. Button registrations, heavy touches from players, and this was just at like early afternoon on a Saturday. Knowing that I've got another whole session to play, which I will have done obviously by the time you're watching this, I am absolutely certain that the bottle is coming. But for now, it's been a really good little session, you know. We've already got 7 wins. We're pushing for 8 wins here. Look at this from Moses Simon and Douglas Costa. That was like a 2% chance I thought I was going to score right there. And I can't believe Simon got that ball, somehow like karate kicked it into Douglas Costa, who then got in front of the defender. Absolute madness. I should not have scored there, I don't think. Anyway, Dougie gets into the box and knocks it into Simon. I put over a bar of power on that, but I must have just slipped on my controller or something, because it just tapped it. It didn't really work out for me. And we get through with Douglas Costa again here. Can we score, or can we hit the bar? Of course we can hit the bar. It's one of those things. I've been hitting too much power on my shots this weekend. A lot of them seem to be hitting the woodwork. Simon cuts inside, knocks it out to Cyprian, who strikes on his weaker foot and puts me 2-0 up after 32 minutes. I'll most definitely take that from the Frenchman, and I almost wonder where I'm like stunting him. I take him off at half-time and leave Fernandinho on. But I don't know how impressed I am with Fernandinho. Should I be bringing him off and then bringing Grimaldo on, or whoever it is I normally bring on? You know, I just don't know. Anyway, we get a corner after Neymar gets a shot saved. We knock it into Moses Simon. We knock it into Grimaldo, the super sub, who even with his low shooting, he seems to be finding the back of the net. He's done so twice now in the 10 games that we've played when he comes on as a super sub every now and again. We get a 3-0 rage quit and reality is restored. And we end up going 8-2. In our first 10 games. In a very important weekend league, I would obviously take 8-2. Like, I'm sure it's a fantastic start, but I'm sure it's probably going to go downhill very soon. If the servers keep feeling the way they're feeling, then it's going to be curtains for me. My head is going to go. I'm going to try and keep my head. I'm going to try and quit as few games as possible. Even if I'm losing like 2-0 or something, I'll try my best to stay in it. But I can't make any promises because your head goes to a completely different place. You are off in Narnia when things are getting stressful on this game. Neymar's now scored over 300 goals. The Brazilian, the GOAT of my team. And you can ignore a lot of those games played on Simon. Like I said, I played like a bunch of games in squad battles and I just quit them instantly so that I could get loyalty on his card. So he's actually played, what, 10 games or 11 games or something, considering we play 1 or 2 in Rivals maybe the other day. So quite a good return from him so far. I am gonna open up the Excel spreadsheet right now and tell you what we're doing and where we're at, because I want to do that, but of course I don't have it ready. That leaves you guys to roast me in the comments. So far, Atal has got 2 goals, 3 assists. Moses Simon's got 2 goals, 6 assists. That's actually more than I expected from him. Douglas Costa, only 3 goals, 2 assists. Is the 7 chemistry harming him this week? I don't know. But then Neymar's got 10 goals, 2 assists, so that's 12 contributions in the 10 games so far. It's been relatively low scoring, but things have been like padded out between all of the players quite well. And Grimaldo's actually got a couple of goals as well. I need to, that's not even true. I need to update this spreadsheet for the last 2 games that we just played. So we're missing a few goals there. But yeah, we're doing pretty well. 8-2, I'll take that, and we'll move on, hopefully get to that 17 wins in the next couple of days. I just hope it's not super stressful and horrible. Guys, thank you for watching. Hit a thumbs up if you have enjoyed. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I thank you for that. My Twitter, my Instagram links are down below in the description. I'd love it if you come follow me. I give little updates day to day of what's going on in my life. And I'll catch you next time, guys. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay inside, play games, all of that good stuff. Take it easy. I'll catch you tomorrow with another episode. Peace.